Hello, um, my name is Abby Burnham, and I was hired as the social media marketer for Blue Eye Bags. And this is kind of an overview of everything that I've done in the few months, our goals, and what we've accomplished so far. And I'm excited to show you what we've done. So, at the beginning of my job, I was asked to follow these goals that the chief marketing officer had given me. This allowed me to get a better idea of what the goals of Blue Eye Bags was and what I needed to do to be successful for them. So one of the goals was they gave us a $5,000 budget each week for production and promotion, and they told us that we needed to spend the $5,000 as best as possible, meaning spending the whole budget. They told us to be aggressive and spend the budget because it won't carry over to the next week and it doesn't really affect anything if we don't use it. So why not use it to get more engagement and views? They told us to spend our budget wisely, meaning spending 25% on content and 75% on promotions, and then prioritizing distribution. They also wanted us to grow brand awareness, which is big for small businesses like this where they're just trying to get known. That's a big thing is getting the loyalty from the customers. So this means growing our follower base, our fan base, and across each network needs to grow significantly. They asked us to increase engagement. So if we grow our reach, engagements will follow likes, comments, shares, but only if the content you write and share is engaging. They wanted us to increase our sales. Our boss wanted us to see a 10% increase in annual sales over the previous year, meaning it would take a lot of work, but I think we can say that we successfully did this. So my personal social media goals for Blue Eye Bags was increasing the audience engagement, meaning tracking the likes, comments, shares, and overall engagement to make new goals weekly to see what's working well and what's not. I wanted to optimize platform use. Knowing what types of people are going to be on the platform will help me decide how to get the biggest audience of what I have, meaning if I'm going to use Facebook, knowing what audience mostly uses Facebook, what audience mostly uses Instagram or Pinterest or whatever platform I'm using. I need to find a target audience for each one. Strengthening our brand identity, like I was stated before with the chief officer goals. He wanted us to make Blue Eye Bag more well known. I want people to recognize things for how they are and not feel like they're being cheated out of anything, meaning we're loyal. When we say that we're going to give somebody something, that's what we're going to give them. This creates, again, loyalty between us and the customer base. And it's more likely that they're going to like us and share to their friends about us if they're impressed with what they were given. Need to improve our content reach, meaning using hashtags or choosing what media goes on which platform will change the audience and who gets to see what posts. Again, kind of what I was going with before is creating an honest and trustworthy site, building an environment of genuine care for each customer to create a loyal customer base. So again, just being honest in everything that we do and creating transparency between us and the customers. My marketing plan was setting those goals, making a budget part of my goals, and follower count and engagement rates. And then another goal I had was posting frequently on the most successful platforms such as Instagram and Facebook, meaning multiple times a week, doing different posts, targeting different audiences, or finding the audience that I'm most engaging with on those platforms and working with that. And then consistently checking on the data to adjust marketing strategies to continue upward progression to success. So figuring out what's working, what's not working, and continuing to adjust to what would be most successful. We need to define our target audience, which we successfully did, and I'll get into that in a minute. And then using popular influencers to get brand awareness and boost sales. My strategy, by the end of the simulation, I finally started to figure out what was the best strategy to be the most successful. I mostly pointed my attention to the most successful platforms, which was Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest. Posting frequently at the right times was very important. I found that the most successful times to post on these platforms was 8 a.m. and 12 p.m., depending on what audience I was targeting. I focused most of my funds on influencers because I knew that they would be able to reach a larger audience than my small business. I mostly on Instagram, I would post at 12 p.m. because it was targeting the younger generation, and the younger generation showed that they're more engaged on Instagram later in the day rather than early in the morning. Whereas on Facebook, 8 a.m. was better for the older generation who gets up early and starts their day looking at that. And then influencers, I used bigger influencers that I knew had a bigger fan base, because I knew that I'm not going to reach it by myself. So collaborating with influencers creates a loyalty between my fan base and their fan base, which gains both our brand identity and drives sales if somebody that they trust is saying that this is a trustworthy product. Effective content and target audience. So like I was saying before, one of my main goals was to find our target audience and drive ourselves towards them. So I found that our main target audience was mostly men between the ages of 24 and 31, and they're interested in bags to accommodate hiking, camping, and hunting. Right behind them, our next target audience are the college students who are looking for a bag to go to school that can accommodate all of their needs. This also includes moms that are buying bags for their kids, so that they have something that will help them in both their extracurricular and schoolwork. So when I would post, I would use visual appeals like adventuring, hiking, hunting, whatever, right? Or if I wanted to target our school audience, I'd use school bags and use hashtags and comments that aligned with that. And then a big thing that I did want to focus on too was not just doing that and doing a broad audience with reliability, knowing that no matter what you wanted the bag for, it would work for anything because of the space it uses and how reliable it is for each individual person, that it can be used for more than one thing. And that was my main effective content that I was able to make. My main platforms that I focused on was, again, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. It was really nice because Facebook and Instagram are a lot alike. They correlate with each other because they're owned by the same people. But I found that Facebook reached more of our older audience and Instagram used more of our younger audience. And then Pinterest kind of did a little bit of everything. People would go on there for aesthetically pleasing photos. And so the reason I would use Facebook is it offers extensive reach, targeted advertising options, diverse content formats, and it allows the business to effectively engage with their audience and scale quickly. Whereas Instagram allows for visual storytelling, appeals to younger, highly engaged audiences, supports targeted advertising, and offers features like shoppable posts, reels, making it effective for brand building and driving sales. Pinterest focuses on discovery and inspiration, attracting users who are actively seeking ideas and products. It's a visually aesthetic format, highly intent audience, and features like shoppable pins make it effective for driving traffic and conversions. So the main thing that I would use Pinterest for, I still mostly focused on Instagram and Facebook. But if you make aesthetically pleasing photos and post them on Pinterest and people are scrolling through and they see it, it didn't really drive sales, but it created people to plant a seed right? And so when they saw it and then they saw it on another platform, it was like already there with their aesthetically pleasing photos, which makes them want to do it too, right? And so that's where Pinterest really helped us out there. So we did run into a crisis. Taylor Swift ended up finding a note in one of our blue eye bags, and I'll read this here. The note, which appears to be written by an inmate in Yingshan prison in Guangdong, China, has sparked widespread media attention and raised serious concerns about blue eye supply chain practices. This was a false accusation of mistreatment to our employees. Luckily, this caused minimal damage as we addressed this quickly and efficiently. We assembled a crisis management team that includes key members from public relations, legal, and communication departments. We released an initial statement acknowledging the severity of the situation while committing to a thorough investigation. We reached out directly to Taylor Swift to apologize for the stress that this must have come from, and then released videos to the public from our leadership reassuring our treatment policies for employees. Luckily, because we were able to do this so quickly, there was minimal damage to Blue Eye's name and the product, and we were able to reassure people that this was all misunderstanding, and um, and Taylor Swift was good with it too. So we ended up being okay. Growth and revenue. So throughout the simulation, my total revenue for the Blue Eye bags was $257,104.37. My total engagement rates was 32,645. Total impressions was 13,168,096. And then our total allocated budget was $60,000, and the total spent was $59,860. So throughout the simulation, I was able to meet both the chief executive's goals for me and my own personal goals. So overall, I really feel like this semester was successful, and honestly, I think it's setting up Buai for success, right? So if they keep growing, then the more and more and more the revenue and impressions and everything is going to go up. So this was a good place to start. And I just want to say thank you for allowing me to have this opportunity to work with you guys and learn more about myself and about marketing. So thank you very much.